Hello, and what is going on, everybody? It is Master of the TDS, and I am joined by my lovely wife,
WritingRaven.
And we're back for another episode of Psycho-Synopsis.
We are.
Hope you enjoyed our new intro. If you haven't seen the video we already uploaded of it, you probably have seen it on this one. And Psycho-Synopsis is a segment where we summarize all the Psycho for you. Just a scattering of topics throughout the week, all summarized into a neat little package for you to consume at your leisure.
You're welcome.
We have a bunch of topics to cover today, so without further ado,
let's bring in our first client with the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power.
The Ring of Power!
Huh.
Ooh, ah, ee, ah, oh, oh, oh. No?
He's been wanting to do that forever.
Please tell me someone thought it was funny. Please.
I did, but I don't count.
You're biased.
I know, I don't count.
The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay admitted their show does not have a number of rights that depict events from the Second Age of the Lord of the Rings world.
Wah, wah.
Now, that's them, as you can see in the image. And basically, it's not only that, the trailers are now officially with more downvotes than they are upvotes. They've been trying to spin this as if it's like, oh, people who don't like this are just racist. But it's more people who just don't appreciate the lore being ignored.
Pretty much.
They obviously... It's funny that they don't have the rights to the actual stuff that they're doing.
Apparently they only have the rights to the Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit, but not the Silmarillion or the other books that they're basing this show on.
Yeah, they're using, I think, the appendices and everything else they can to kind of skirt around that. But that makes it basically that it's fan fiction.
Yeah, and not really approved by the Tolkien estate.
And they're trying so hard to spin this, they even Amazon got together a group of people that they called super fans.
No.
And within the first 2 seconds of their video, you can tell they're not, when one of them says, if Sauron is, like, hot, that means, like, you know, I could save him. Now, you won't find this video, because it's actually been unlisted when Amazon realized that that might have not been the right idea.
If they wanted real fans and super fans to talk about it, they should have asked people like Nerdrotic or just some guy.
Yeah, or anyone else probably would have had more information than these people, and these people were like, I'm a super Tolkien fan, but it's ridiculous that it's not a thing where you people can't not like things anymore. It has to be because we're obviously racist or sexist or whatever this thing is, and perhaps it's just that we don't like the product. And if we don't like the product, that's okay. You can enjoy the product if we don't like it.
Yes, but stop being upset when people don't.
And stop accusing people who don't like it of being racist or sexist, because guess what?
We're not.
Not only are we not, it's getting old. Those words have no meaning anymore because you use them all the time to try and get yourself out of valid criticism.
Does that mean our bingo card is boring now?
No, our bingo card is not.
Heh.
But regardless, it's just ridiculous that this has become a thing where it's like okay to do this and it's the kind of go-to, and they were already ready with this right away. But basically, long story short, Amazon is getting what it deserves. Not surprised at all, and I have a very strong feeling that this show is going to be
their downfall?
Not just their downfall, but it will be fan fiction and member berries.
Yeah, probably. And not even good fan fiction.
Yeah, so again, good luck with that, Amazon. You're going to actually really need it. If you are watching this later on or you think you like what you see, you're more than welcome to. Let us know what you like.
Let's move on to our next client. Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Impressive. Paramount announced a brand new live-action Sonic the Hedgehog series starring Knuckles that will tie into a forthcoming third Sonic the Hedgehog film.
That does sound exciting.
Now, a lot of people, including my wife and I, like this franchise because they listened to the fans and changed the original terrible design of Sonic to what it is now.
Yes.
But some people say that they did it on purpose, blah, blah, blah. Regardless, it doesn't matter if they did it on purpose or not. To me, it's about what it shows to everybody else.
And it ended up being a good movie. A little cheesy and corny, but still a good movie.
And it's why people went to it and supported it and whatnot. So that's something that these big movie companies and stuff should really keep in mind, that if they want to make money, they should appeal to fans like this. Now, I haven't seen the new second movie yet because it's not out. How will Idris Elba do as Knuckles? I don't know.
I look forward to finding out, though.
Yeah, but if he's decent and it looked okay from the trailer, it'd be interesting to see it. A series based on it. We'll have to obviously, I'm curious what it will be on. But it would definitely be worth watching, and I'm just interested more, I'm sorry, the person I'm interested in seeing the most.
Jim Carrey is Dr. Robotnik?
Yes.
He does make a very good Dr. Robotnik, especially now that he has the iconic mustache. People are saying he needs to be a bit fatter, though.
I don't think so.
I don't really care.
Because you have to understand that, here's the thing. You can tell that they're respecting the source material in a sense where even if he's not like 100% perfect like what he should look, you have to understand that this is not Sonic's world. This is the real world where Sonic happens to be in. You know?
He gets teleported to our universe.
Who knows what Dr. Eggman would look like if he went to Sonic's homeworld?
That is true. Maybe he'll look like a cartoon.
Who knows?
That would be cool if they did that.
I don't know.
Maybe they'll do it.
As I said, I'm looking forward to this, and I'm not opposed to hearing about all this. I think it's actually great that we're getting this, and we'll have to see where it goes from here.
Indeed. Let's move on. Our next client is Ninja Turtles.
Cowabunga? Viacom CBS, who will change their name to Paramount, announced a series of new animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies during their most recent investor event.
And this is the image. And it looks horrible.
Yeah, well, let's hope that it's not based off this image. Now, the issue I have with this is it's being created by Seth Rogen.
And that already makes me lose interest.
The same person who's made Santa Inc.
Ugh. We didn't even watch that. We never even reported on it, did we?
Nope. And there's a good reason, because we weren't bothered. As Jewish people ourselves, we didn't really like what they were doing. They don't speak for all of us.
No, not at all.
Not all Jews are like this.
Seriously, and certainly not all of them are like those two.
I've seen, I think, none of the live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies because I didn't care.
I saw the live-action TV show that introduced the sister Venus de Milo.
I'm not a huge Ninja Turtle fan. I'm not jumping up and down with this, but I'm also not like, oh, if it's done right, it could be done well. But again, Seth Rogen being in charge doesn't exactly make me very optimistic.
I grew up with Ninja Turtles, the original cartoon, later the Cartoon Network cartoon, the Nickelodeon animated one, which is where this Leonardo comes from there. That one was also pretty good until they introduced Ice Cream Kitty. If you know what I'm talking about, then you'll probably understand.
Let's not go there.
Yeah. Shall we move on? Our next client is Power Rangers.
Go, go, Power Rangers! Except, no.
No.
In a first for the long-running American television adaptation of Super Sentai Power Rangers, Dino Fury has introduced an LGBT Ranger to the Morphin grid.
Why they did this is, I don't understand. This is a kids show with usually very bad actors. I only remember 3 versions of Power Rangers that actually had good acting.
We have nothing against people in the LGBTQ community. We're not upset at the fact that they've made an LGBTQ Ranger. We don't see the reason why they made it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, as kids who, very young kids usually watch this. I'm sure there are people who collect and whatever, that kind of stuff. I don't know about you, but when I was young enough to appreciate this, all I kind of wanted was to see them kind of kick butt.
Yeah, even though I could tell at 11 years old that the show was extremely repetitive.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's extremely repetitive, and then they kind of just put this in there, and they made the friends set her up with another girl, and then I don't know.
That makes no sense for a kids show.
It's just it's something that could have been approached correctly, but I don't understand why it was even approached at all with a kids show. I don't understand why we're pushing this onto kids, and it's just, for me, it kind of seems like it was out of place, especially in a show like this. Because it's not about relationships and whatever. It's about kicking alien costumed people's butts.
Yes, with very bad CGI. And yes, there are some versions of the Power Rangers that had instances of relationships. The only one, though, that I really remember was between two sisters in Mystic Force.
Look, it's not something that I have that much knowledge about, to be honest. I think my wife knows more about it than I do.
Probably.
I just don't understand why we need to put representation into everything. I'm not saying representation is bad. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm saying that not every single thing needs to have different people of different races, genders, ethnicities, whatever you want to say, in it.
Yeah.
It isn't necessary.
No, not at all. All the teams are usually full of diverse casting anyway.
And it's just like, it's not necessary. We have some things that should not have this kind of stuff in it. Not because we're being bigots or whatever. It's because it's just like, it doesn't belong here.
Not at all, especially not in Power Rangers.
It's just weird. And it's just like, it didn't even need to be a thing, and they kind of shoehorned it in there. Now, I haven't watched it, so I don't know if the episode was actually good or whatnot. I don't know.
Nor do I. I stopped watching Power Rangers a long time ago.
But, I just don't see why we have to have this in everything. I think it's silly. I think it's something that needs to be changed because, again, the whole myth about Hollywood is that if you can't see yourself represented in things, then you aren't able to identify with the people on the screen.
That's stupid.
Not only stupid, it's not true. 100%.
Yeah, trust the therapist on that one.
It's not true. People identify with different aspects of people, not people themselves. If you cannot identify with someone on a TV screen because they don't look like you, then that tells me a couple things. One is it tells me you aren't very sure of yourself and who you are, and it means that you probably missed the point of the entire show, and perhaps the show isn't for you.
Or both. Which brings us to our next client, America Chavez.
What in the flippin' tamales is going on right now?
A very good question.
Following her debut in the recent Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness trailer, a number of Marvel fans have taken issue with Joaquito Gomez's casting as America Chavez, and in one case, outright harassing her over their belief that the Mexican actress is both light-skinned and the wrong ethnicity to play the Puerto Rican superhero.
And there are quite a few things to discuss on this. One, she's 15. She should not be harassed at all. So anyone who is bothering her on this, stop it now. It's not okay. The other thing, the character isn't Puerto Rican. It's an alien, right?
At least I think so. They retcon that possibly, but who knows? The thing that I think is the most ridiculous is that when we dare to say that we don't like something because maybe it doesn't fit with the lore, or maybe it doesn't work with the show, and they've race swapped or gender swapped or whatever, what do we get told?
You're just a bigot.
Suck it up, it's not for you. But then here, it's not exactly what they want, so they're okay harassing and trying to get her to change and to attack her. But when we do it, we're the ones who get labeled. They're okay to do it.
It's always so one-sided.
How about you stop harassing people on social media?
Especially when they're still children.
You guys are the same people who harassed Kelly Marie Tran off of Twitter and Instagram, aren't you?
You are, not us.
You are the same people who did that, and you're going to claim that it's not, that it's us. But if that's the case, then what is this? Look at all this evidence.
Mm-hmm. We're always saying to show receipts. Here we are, showing receipts.
Yeah, you are harassing a 15-year-old girl who is playing a character which, to be fair, is not a character that I like.
Nor I.
But I will not allow this to go on because the double standard is ridiculous.
Not only that, but she's 15. You have any idea what you are doing to this girl's mental health?
It seems like from what you can see from one of them is that someone actually sent her a whole big message about needing to step down, whatever, and she blocked them.
Good.
So it seems like she knows what to do, which is good. Mm-hmm. But even if I don't like the character, I can separate the character from the person.
From the actor.
Or actress in this case.
Yes.
But I don't like the character of America Chavez. I've made that very clear. I have my reasons. I've read some of the comics. Not my thing.
Nor mine.
If it's your thing, power to you.
We have no problem with that. But even if you don't like the character, if you do like the character, it doesn't matter. Anyone with common sense can agree that harassment of a 15-year-old actress is not okay.
Yeah, but these people lack common sense because apparently it's okay for them to get mad over this and it's justified. But when we have the same thing about something else, we're just trolls and bigots and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're blubber brains.
That, and also they just don't seem to see their own hypocrisy. So maybe if one of these people is watching, perhaps now take a good look in the mirror. You are the same people you say you oppose.
Shocking, isn't it?
You stand against this kind of stuff? Then why are you okay to do it here? Oh, it's because it's right and it's just... Shut up. Shut up. You and I both know that you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. And the sooner that you can stop looking for villains in other people, because that's what you do. You look for villains. When you search for people who are being what you describe as villains, you will find them.
You are the villains.
But guess what? You were the villains all along.
Plot twist.
Because here's the proof.
This entire screen is proof.
We'll end off this part with this. It's a saying that you guys say a lot, and maybe you should listen. So put on your listening ears. You listening? Don't like it, don't watch it.
Boom. Mic drop. Moving on. Speaking of America Chavez, we have the Thunderbolts.
Okay, so this one's going to be interesting, but let me read what it says here. Thunderbolts, redeeming justice like lightning. Do you like America Chavez yet? Well, ostensibly, in service of her upcoming appearance in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Marvel is going to try their hardest to beg you to, starting by adding her to the next incarnation of the Thunderbolts.
And the characters in this new team of Thunderbolts are the new Power Man, not Luke Cage, America Chavez, Persuasion, the Purple Man's daughter, who looks really weird, Gutston Glory, yes, that's his actual name, Monica Rambeau, and Clint Barton.
Yeah, it's a weird lineup. Now, the reason I said this one's going to be weird is because I made a post about this last night that actually gained some traction.
A lot of it.
And it gained enough traction that the writer of this comic actually commented.
Tell them what he said.
Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, is it another one of these people who are going to get mad at you? No. And that's exactly why, even if we don't like this and we think it's silly, we are not going to just purely bash it. Mm-hmm. See how this works? Take notes.
Everyone else?
Listen to what he had to say.
Read it.
He said, and the writer is named Jim Zhu. I hope you give the first issue a shot and we're able to bring you on board the concept. I cover some of the common concerns I've been hearing here. And not only has he done that, but he even had an interview on Comics by Perch, which you guys may know. He is not attacking, and I even went back and forth with him a couple times, basically saying how, I can't get behind it because it's just the way I've been treated by people in the industry. Mm-hmm. And he understood.
Finally, someone in the industry with some freaking common sense.
So I was prepared to just completely bash on this.
And just to point and laugh. But after having a respectful response from the writer of this comic, we changed our minds.
Yeah, look, I think, I'm going to say one thing. I think, first off, America Chavez is being pushed way too much.
Oh, yeah.
She's not that liked. I'm sorry. It's just facts.
Change her dialogue a little bit and maybe she'll be better.
They apparently have. Now, the name Gutston Glory is cringe beyond cringe.
Yeah.
But because this author had the restraint
and the respect
to engage me in a decent discussion,
a civil conversation,
which is again something very not heard of these days, I will say that normally I would tell you not to read this kind of comic, and you may not still want to read it, and that's okay. But you know what? I'm not going to purely go on a limb and say that it's going to be bad, because if he's willing to come out, even if the product is not good, the person behind it is someone worth having a discussion with.
Kudos to you, sir.
Yes, thank you. Seriously, as people who have been targeted by bigger names in the comic industry before, and again, I don't know if you'll even watch this.
And some other authors in general.
We appreciate when people come forward and are nice and don't just outright attack us. Mm-hmm. And you even understand why people didn't like it. Some people were like, hey, I don't like this, whatever. And you were like, oh, that's cool. I hope we can change your mind.
That is how you do it. Rest of the industry, please take some frickin' notes.
Not just the rest of the comics industry. We're talking the industry in general. Amazon. That's what you should have done. Instead of coming out and saying, well, the fans are just bigots and trolls and racists.
They did that even before the trailer came out because they knew what was going to happen.
Now, if they had come out and said this instead, let's say they had said, you know, we get it, we didn't have the rights to the Silmarillion and all this kind of stuff, and we are trying our best with the source material we have available, and I know it's different, and I know it's not your ordinary thing, and I get it if you guys don't like it, but we would really appreciate it if you gave it a chance.
Then people might have given it a chance.
But see, it's not about that for them. It was never about that. See, they never wanted the fans. They just wanted to call people names. Here is an example where he could have very well, within his rights, called us names. And again, I would have obviously, spoken back. But he didn't.
No.
He acted like a civil human being, and guess what? I may not like his comic. I may never read his comic. I may not support him. But I am not an enemy.
He earned our respect with this.
That's all you need to do. Give people simple respect.
Is it really that hard?
Apparently, yes.
Sigh.
Because it's all about pushing messages and not actually pushing boundaries. Just because people don't like things doesn't mean that they're bigots and all this kind of stuff. And if you are able to get off your high horses and come and have a civil conversation, you'll find that, guess what? We all share something in common. Mm-hmm. We're human.
Amen. Shall we move on? And our last client of the day, Star Wars, the Galactic Star Cruiser.
I'm out of it for a little while. Everyone gets delusions of grandeur. In another piece of evidence that Star Wars has lost its soul and is just a cash grab for Disney, the company revealed their new Galactic Star Cruiser ride is the location of Han Solo and Leia Organa's honeymoon.
Which is dumb. And as you can see in the picture, behind Han and Leia is what the ship is supposed to look like.
The Halcyon.
And that live picture there is the actual resort. There is a very big difference there.
Immersion!
Lies.
It's okay though. You won't get to see it because they drive you there in a truck.
A box truck that's meant for packages.
That way you don't have to break the immersion.
This looks like just a cheap budget cut flop of a thing.
And it's focused on the sequel trilogy, which again, most people, and I'm saying it like this, a majority of people don't like. I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying a majority. Or at least don't like all of them, let's be honest. But they have to now come out and be like, oh, well, look, here's some characters that you like. Here, they're here. Don't you want to come have your honeymoon on the Halcyon?
No.
It's okay. Pay $6,000 and we'll give you lightsaber training that looks horrendous.
It looks worse than party tricks at a kid's birthday.
And let's be honest, at least those ones are cheaper. But this you're going to pay an arm and a leg to get in, and what are you going to get? Well, you should know, you're going to get singing and the ability to talk to people. And if you're good little boys and girls, Kylo Ren and Rey will come and fight each other on it.
Will they end up kissing and one of them dying?
I don't care.
Ugh.
Look, like the sequel trilogy, don't like the sequel trilogy, doesn't matter. We can all agree, even it doesn't really matter what it's focused on, this looks like a disaster waiting to happen.
Oh yeah, and there's been plenty coming out about it too.
Yeah, and more coming out every day.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Just another way of trying to get people to come and spend $6,000, which I'm pretty sure isn't going to work. You could have made it any other ship that people were actually familiar with, and you didn't.
Hell, you could have made it the Death Star!
That would have been kind of cool.
That would have been awesome! And
yeah.
then getting a chance to watch them blow up a planet.
Yeah, but no, you get to watch them go to Lightspeed.
Boring!
But yeah, not interested. I think a lot of people have seen through this already and are canceling, and I don't think this is going to be a success.
I mean, just look at that building. Does that look like a place you want to spend the night at?
It's not even that. It's like, can't you at least make it look like what you're trying to make?
Yeah, you would think so.
And maybe it's not finished yet, and maybe they are going to work on that, and if that's the case, cool. But it's very cheap. What they're saying they're going to do has been very budget cut, and it's not interesting to me.
Not at all.
Not that I was ever planning to go, mind you.
Oh, of course not. I have no intention of sacrificing an arm and a leg and a potential firstborn child.
Nothing new. Just Star Wars.
Dying.
Again, because they're literally just exhuming its corpse.
It's necrophilia at this point.
Yeah.
And with that, we reached the end of our video, which means we come to the diagnosis of the week.
And we have an interesting diagnosis for you all.
Do tell.
So the diagnosis for this week is confirmation bias.
Please explain.
So a confirmation bias is a tendency of people to favor information that confirms their beliefs or hypotheses. Basically, they only gather and remember certain evidence and, information that they believe supports what they have to say or what their beliefs are. They purposely ignore or refuse to acknowledge beliefs that disprove theirs because it goes against the narrative that they're trying to support. And I feel like this is a huge thing that's going on lately, not just with Lord of the Rings and Amazon, but with a lot of places in general. And they don't seem to understand that just because you're refusing to hear evidence to the contrary doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
True.
And yes, you can have your opinions, but you don't have to belittle fans to get them. And so that's why I feel like this is a very good diagnosis for this week.
I agree.
Next we come to the remedy of the week.
And this week we will be sending you to Lorena Creole. She just passed 3,000 subscribers, which is why we're doing this. Congratulations, Lorena.
Yes, congratulations.
And we also are going to be going onto her channel as guests at some point next month.
I believe mid-March.
Yes.
So you'll see us there, but she does videos, she does Forterman Bingo, she does different commentary on things, she even has other people come in, like, you know, and interviews them kind of. She even goes to parks and stuff and walks around and does videos there. So if you are looking for a channel with someone with a lot of personality, who really is down to earth, connects with people, and is willing to hear what people have to say, you know where to go.
She's also a fellow Slytherin. And let her know that Gothic Therapy referred you.
So that's all we have for this week. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and also make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe with notifications on so you do not miss your weekly therapy session.
Or you will be charged. Also, go into the links in the description. Go to the description for links to all of our socials, including Twitch, Instagram, our Discord server, and our merch store, and my Wattpad, if you want to read some of my writing.
Yeah. But that's all we have for this week. Stay tuned, because there may be some new content coming your way later this week.
There may be, indeed.
If you haven't followed me on Twitter, you should do so, or you have kind of a sneak peek. But yeah, that's all we have for this week, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Gothic Therapy